Yeah, y'all know better than me. All the time we used to do Skype stuff when we did chat roulette. That was crazy. You remember chat roulette? We used to go on like Skype and you would see a whole bunch of people doing weird stuff. You just keep clicking and there'd be people like around the world and you touch themselves and stuff. Like, what the hell's wrong? Chat roulette's crazy.
What are you filming off of right now? Like what are you using?
It's a mobile, right?
It's an iPad.
Can you turn it sideways for a second?
Is it sideways?
Like turn the whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You can turn it on side.
Like this?
That's worse.
Nope, actually.
Okay, turn it back. Sorry.
Yep, sorry. Yeah.
You want me to put something else under it? So
just turn it a little. So you guys are going to need to pull back just a little bit if you want both of you in there.
Yeah.
You can just be in there.
No, you in this too. So you might want to look stupid. You're going to be whispering at. So this is what we do for volume work. I am a pure student. I don't do the whole. I just listen to what I'm told, and that's why I do well. So I don't do all the coaching stuff. That's all I have. Ooh.
Hold on.
I got a crayon box. Let's try that. Ooh. Ooh, that's perfect. Look, you got a whole bunch of room right here.
That's good, man. That's good.
Look at that. Showing my muscles too.
There you go. You got time. You got a little room for the flexing. So, if you've seen the podcast or the YouTube videos, so the video, you guys just see me, but Randy's on the other side of the table, so you'll hear him asking questions too. And you guys are actually, I'm looking at a big monitor, and you guys are on a monitor, and I'll be talking to the monitor. So if it looks like I'm not looking at you, I'm actually looking at you at the monitor, and we're talking. You only see me, but everybody who's watching sees me, you, Randy, the monitor, the whole nine.
Awesome.
Okay? So maybe we could start with a little bit of intro. Introduce yourselves, and a little bit of background into who you are.
Okay. I'm Thomas Davis. I'm a raw bench competitor in the USAPL/IPF. This is my coach, Dan Gibson. He owns Strength Haven. He's been doing this how long? You been coaching?
Went out on my own completely in 2005. I've competed in strongman. Currently, still competing in powerlifting in the 242 and 275 pound class. Yeah.
And what federation is that?
The next meet I do is going to be an RPS meet. I've competed in the IPA, UPA, TD's USAPL only right now. So.
Mm-hmm. And TD, a little bit of background in terms of your accomplishments in the USAPL?
I am a 2-time national raw bench champion. I competed in IPF Worlds last year. Had a little hiccup with the drug test because of my blood pressure medicine and inhaler, but that's all cleared up now. But I did win that, and I had the world record, which was 622. Some other guy has it now by a pound. He has like 623, but I mean, I'm gonna go for it again soon. So.
Yeah. So, are you now currently on the national team for? Because the bench world, classic worlds. When does that take place? In like a month?
I believe it's like next week or something like that.
Oh shit! Are you lifting at that?
No, I won't because of the whole hiccup with the drug test. So basically what happened was I've been getting tested for a while, and apparently my meds that I've been taking for years, I guess something's wrong with them. I take a blood pressure medication. Obviously, I'm 420 pounds, so I will have blood pressure issues.
Yeah.
I've also had asthma in my life, and I took an inhaler. So I got flagged for those two. I didn't know because, like I said, I've been tested and I haven't had a bad test. Yeah. So we got it figured out. Did my TUE forms and getting those things in. So I'm good now. But the time that I would have been able to competed, so I can be on this team to compete next week, I would have, I missed it, due to they have to go through an investigation, which I mean, it's all good, it's cool. because they like they legit do care about drug-free lifting and
that's legit. So, I mean, it's no joke. You hear people taking cough medicines and failing. You got to be careful, man.
I gotta be careful.
Well, most asthma inhalers have steroids in it, isn't it?
Very small dosage.
Small dosage.
It's a very small dosage, but
very small dosage. Nothing to like necessarily like I don't know. It wouldn't like make me stronger. Obviously, it's not gonna make my bench like a puff inhaler. It's not gonna make my bench go crazy.
But it sets off a drug test, right? Isn't that what it?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's something I didn't know, but now I know, and now I have forms for it, and I mean, I'm pretty much cool. So I watch what I do, and anything that I take or anything like that, make sure I talk to my doctor, make sure it's cool, go through WADA.
The hardest part with that shit is like. So some of these drugs you'll take medication-wise have like 3 different names, and if you go through the anti-doping list, you're like, fuck, man, I'm not a doctor. I'm gonna try my best. But some of them literally have like different names, and a lot of people don't know that. And some dude got busted, and he found out it was like the same type of situation, and he's like, man, this one drug in a lot of these, like I think also the same blood pressure, 3 different names on it. He's like, fuck me, man, and then you get suspended. Did they retroactively give you a TUE, or was it?
Yeah, I did retro. I did a retro, and then I did one after that, so that I'm good for this year. So if I ever have anything, I'm good. So
what do they say in terms of the world gold medal and everything? Will it stand, or like, no, we're gonna wipe it? You got to redo it.
Basically, it's gone. But at the same time, it's like I know what I did, and what it wasn't like I'm cheating. I didn't take any like HGH or anything. I did what I could. So I mean, I'm not gonna not take my medication. I'm not gonna die.
No, fuck no, hell no, man.
I'm not gonna be coming on the stage wheezing and holding my heart, trying to break a world record. That's stupid. So
that'd be some inspirational shit.
Exactly.
The views would go through the roof. It'd be like WWE. They'd be like, we don't even know if he's gonna make it. this is do or die, literally, all or nothing.
Literally.
No shit. So when is the next competition then? Because they do have in international meets, even NAPF meets, you could break world records, and you might not want to wait until next year's Worlds to go after that world record. Do you have plans to go after it sooner?
I planned on doing it at the Arnold, but I got real sick 3 weeks before I got the flu, and I lost like 20 pounds in 2 days. And
damn.
That kind of hindered, and that was like 3 weeks before, and I got sick the night before. Just a whole bunch of factors that came up, and I was going to break it then, but, I actually bombed out. It wasn't there. My head, it was a game, and I needed that kick in the ass. Like, okay, cool, now I know, I don't want to feel like this anymore. So I got an exhibition coming up in April. That'll be in Chicago. It's just a little exhibition so I can qualify for nationals. Go to nationals. Actually, I've been doing the World Police and Fire Games this year because I'm a corrections officer, so I can do that. And then I won't have another chance to break that record until I think the next Arnold. Or maybe I'll just wait and do or nationals I can break it. Mm-hmm. See, that's why I have him here.
So, the World Games or the World Fire lifting, could you break it there? Because that's Worlds. Is that a USA? Is that IPF?
No, because that's a whole different ball game. Actually, the gentleman who has the world record for that, it's 6:38. He broke it a few years ago, and it was Kirill. He actually he was military. Yeah, I looked at the record. I'm thinking I'm about to just go there and break some record, like no problem. And then my buddy's like, Kirill has a record. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like,
as soon as you hear the name Kirill, it's like, all right, fuck that, whatever. That's
well, I mean, 6:38 is not, impossible.
It's not crazy. If you've done 6:22, it's not crazy.
No. I've done 6:50 touch and go. So I mean, I felt the weight in my hands. So
So you thinking depending on the day, I don't want to put too much pressure on you. What are you thinking for that? What's your goals for that one?
That's the plan.
That's the plan. We're gonna beat that one. So we'll go. I think it's 644 in kilos. So we'll just break it there and then save a little bit of juice for nationals and have a good time at nationals, which will be in Texas.
Because if you beat a Kirill record, that's massive, man.
Exactly.
Anytime you beat a record with Kirill's name on it, that's fucking. And for bench, that's massive, man.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want.
That might even be bigger than the IPF, because Kirill, obviously, everyone knows what he pushes. Might even be bigger than an IPF record, to tell you the truth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It'd be.
So then, so you mentioned that you're a corrections officer. How long have you been a corrections officer?
It'll be 3 years in July. July 7th will be my 3rd year.
Because honestly, and what? Give me a little background here. What level of security is this prison? Because I'm gonna be honest, man. You're a 420-pound corrections officer. You'd scare the shit out of him. I'd be, sir, yes, sir, sir, yes, sir. I will remain in myself, sir. Lights out.
That's funny.
You're running that like an alpha male, man.
No, it's cool. I actually work at a jail. I don't work at a prison. We have a prison not too far from here, but I'd rather not work in the prisons right now. But because I have a better schedule with the county I work for, Elkhart County, and I mean they're really lenient with lifting schedule and things like that. They're very supportive and helpful. We have the second largest jail in the state of Indiana, so it's a big jail. We've gotten close to about 1,000 inmates.
Holy shit! So what's the difference between a prison and a jail?
Excuse me?
What's the difference between a prison and a jail? Just so
so jail is like the initial, intake. That's when, so as soon as you get picked up off the street for whatever, you go into jail. Yeah. Jail, you sit to jail until you are released or you go to prison. Prison is where you serve your long sentences at, like, you guys that, as soon as they go, they have a certain amount of years to do. They're going to prison. It's a whole different facility.
Yeah. So these guys are still going through the court system, etc.
Right.
Got you, man. 1,000. I mean, so you would still have dudes in this jail that are like murderers the whole nine, right?
Oh yeah. I deal with them. I work in Max a lot, so I do deal with most of the murderers and child molesters and
Jesus,
whatever.
Man. See, I'm looking. If I'm doing the scheduling, I'm putting you with the murderers and shit. If I'm looking at everybody in the room, I'm like, TD's good. TD's gonna run that range. We're all right. I feel a little safer knowing you're working that prison. I'm in fucking Canada too.
It's not that bad. It's cool. It's a respect thing with the inmates. They know what I do as far as lifting, and some of them knew me from when I was bouncing at a club, and they're all cool. It's just it's all respect. If you give them respect, they're gonna give you respect, and you have easy days.
If you're a big dude like that, is there any dudes trying to show up by trying you a little bit?
Jokingly, because they know what I'm capable of. So
you stand up and they're like, I'm just fucking around, man. Please sit down.
Yeah, exactly.
Please sit down. No shit. No shit, man. That's good. So, do they have weights there in the prison too?
They in some prisons they do. In our jail, we have like it's like a pull-up bar, and then on the other side of it's like dip bar, and then they can do like reverse hammies and stuff like that. It's weird.
No, like benching up.
No benching, no squatting, nothing like that.
Yeah,
so they do a bunch of push-ups and dips, and they do body weight squats, but I mean that's about it.
Would you ever get dudes who are trying to hit you up for some bench press tips?
All the time.
Really? No shit.
Get out, bro. I wanna do this. I wanna do that. And
let me hit you up with a program.
Yeah.
No shit. He's like, wow, this is gonna work out good.
Right.
No shit. Okay, so how long you been powerlifting?
Oh man, since literally right after high school, I started a little bit, just seeing what I could do, because I was always strong in high school. Like, before I graduated, I benched 465, but that was like, the high school rep, so I'm bouncing it, and my butt's coming off the bench, it wasn't clean at all, but I mean, I was like, I'm strong, and I did a meet here in South Bend, Indiana. It was the 80 PDFA, or however you pronounce it.
17 letters.
Yeah, so the whole big acronym,
Yeah.
But no, that was my first meet. It was after high school, and that was an eye opener because I never, did pause or nothing like that. I'm thinking I'm about to just destroy things, and then I look stupid because I can barely pause and I'm over shaking with weight I've done for reps before. But
yeah. And so how old are you now? How long ago was that?
I'm 24 now, and I did that when I was 18. I think it's 2012.
Dude,
I did that first meet.
24, man, you ain't even close to peaks either. Like, when you're 30, what are you going to be doing? That's crazy. So have you always been with Dan?
No, me and Dan just got together about 3 years ago, and he's basically I've dealt with a couple people, and he's just the man that's getting me right. He's making me work harder than I ever worked before, and he explains things to me that, so I can understand what I'm doing, even though I don't really ask. Like I said, I'm just a student, he's a teacher. I don't, try to override him for things or anything like that. Whatever he says, I get done, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing now.
Did you play any other sports before you get into powerlifting?
And we're thinking football. Of course you played football, man. You're in the U.S.
I was a nose guard, man. I was bad. I was a bad boy.
No shit, I bet you'd be terrifying on that football field, man.
I was taking double teams and triple teams, man. That's cool. I mean, I'd be tired because I was so out of shape, and I'd be dead tired, but I'm still taking on 2 or 3 guys, and nobody's moving me. So it's like, I got 1 or 2 linebackers free, and they're able to make the plays. So, it was a good time.
So was someone actually, like, in terms of the crossover to powerlifting, how did you stumble across and decide I'm gonna kick it? Like, you were always already strong, so it was like, fuck, man, I might as well. Or how did that happen from football to powerlifting?
Always kind of just been interested. I've seen, people do it. We had a big bencher around here. His name was George. Big George is actually on my shirt. He was an equipped lifter, and I would see like pictures of him like at doctor's offices and stuff, and like different places, and I'm like, this dude's like big, like
a local
where is
hero?
He from? Excuse me?
Like a local hero type deal? Like
basically. He was like the local guy, man. Like everybody loved him, and like I'd seen him around, and I'm like he's big, like he's from here, like all that weight he's doing. How much is that? He's doing like 700 pounds. Like I'm like I want to do 700 pounds. That's cool, And I got to like look at him, and like I seen him, and I got with a gentleman named Tony Horvath. He's actually the one who helped me prep for my first meet. He's the one who showed me how to pause, because, funny story, I was in the gym and I'm about to put 4 plates on, and we're talking, and so you're doing that meet coming up? And I said, yeah, I am. He said, you ever done one? I said, no, but I think I'll be okay. And he says, let's go ahead and see how you doing. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, this old guy can't teach me anything. And so I got 4 or 5 on the bar, and I have it, and he said, go ahead. And he said, pause it. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I'm sure I can sit here and hold it. And then he tells me to press. And I like get it off my chest like 2 inches, and it goes right.
Whoa,
wait a minute.
We got a problem.
Yeah, and I learned the hard way. And it's, now I can pause whatever. Now it's awesome.
So let's get into a little bit of the coaching and the training and stuff. I mean, especially it's sweet that we got your boy Dan here who does it. So, because I know everybody's watching, and you got TD on here, like the biggest bencher we can have. What are some bench tips in terms of, first let's do a little bit of programming. You guys do percentage or RPE?
So for all the main lifts with him, we do percentages, and then for all the accessory work, that's where we do the RPE, where it's just kind of, figure out how he's feeling. But for us, percentages have worked best. If something feels light for him that day, rather than add weight, I'd rather have him do like 1 extra rep. If it calls for, hitting doubles at 80%, and he's like, man, it feels light, rather than adding plates on, I'll just say, all right, well, hit it for a triple then. And instead of, a lot of times everybody will start throwing more weight on, and then they end up failing. Our goal is to never fail while we're training.
Yeah.
So, and then, our RPEs we use those for the accessory work. And with him, we do a heavy bench day, and then we do a speed day. So we bench twice a week with him, and then he still hits all the other lifts. He squats and pulls, and we'll do a back day, and, so we still hit everything with him, even though he's a bench specialist.
So you do squats and deads as well?
Yep, absolutely.
See, I'm not sure a lot of people realize, like some bench-only dudes, just do bench. And do you do that just to rev up that central nervous system?
Yep, and I mean, the bigger the back, the bigger the bench. And so, I mean, you can do back days, but there's nothing like having, because TD, we keep him double overhand. We're not going to risk a bicep injury. I've been through that. So he stays double overhand on his deadlifts, and his back just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and his bench keeps going up.
Do you do hook grip or just straight up double overhand?
He's just double overhand.
God damn, man. Let me see those hands.
That's big, man.
Whoa! Hey, that's a football player hands, man. No shit.
What kind of weight?
KOs, man.
That's right.
What kind of weight are you actually pulling double overhead?
Somewhere around 600 pounds usually that we'll hit for reps.
What the shit? That's some crazy grip strength, man. Double overhead, 600. You gotta go to the double overhead national somewhere. That's That's a rule.
Or the slingshot national too. We can do that.
That's right.
Slingshot nationals.
Actually, there is slingshot nationals now. Which, you know what? So initially when I heard that, I thought, okay, that sounds a little silly. But the thing is, like, in terms of like a shirted, it's not a whole lot different than a shirt, right? Like when I've never used a slingshot or a shirt. Full disclosure, is it a lot the same? Have you used either of them, or Dan?
I'll let you explain that because
I mean, there's definitely a difference. I mean, I think it's going to be interesting to see if they're still going to make people pause and all that with the slingshot. I think that's going to get interesting. There's definitely a difference in terms of a shirt. Like the black slingshot is closer to a shirt than what the red one is, or the blue, or the yellow. So yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I've done single ply stuff before. Never competed in multiply, but yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Personally, I think if they're going to bring in the slingshot, they should let the guys bang with the single ply guys. But then you've got guys like Blaine who are just getting insane weight out of single ply. So
yeah.
I don't know. I don't like that they're doing the strapped deadlifts. You know, that's another one that they're also incorporating. And
what federation is this?
SPF.
So they're having strap deadlifts and the slingshot bench?
Yeah, but it's standalone, so you can enter as a strapped deadlift only.
Oh no shit! Because that's kind of like, because I know the world's strongest man, like Eddie Hall and them. They do straps.
Oh yeah.
And you could hitch, you could wear a suit, you could do whatever the hell you want, right? You could be on whatever the hell you want. And I'll be honest, man, that's entertaining as shit to watch. I love watching the strongman rock and roll. But those guys are like titans, like Goliaths, right? But
yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it's a little different. I don't know. I guess I could see, like, I know to a certain extent people might think it's kind of bastardizing some of the lifts. But if there is, at the same time, a slingshot and a bench shirt, it's not a hell of a lot.
There's some entertainment value to it. It's just something different for powerlifting. Like
exactly.
There is a little entertainment to it. Like I'd probably watch it. So or at least watch some of it. Because there's going to be some of those strap deadlifts. There's going to be some big lifts.
Oh, there'll be some massive lifts if you had to use straps for sure. End of the day, that's what people want.
But it'll be interesting to see how much some of these guys in powerlifting can pull against some of the strongmen with straps.
Yeah. Well, SPF probably isn't going to bring the big names, so that's the thing. I don't think so. Does SPF have any big names in it?
Not as much anymore. There's kind of a couple things happened within the last couple of years that SPF's kind of declined quite a bit. So, I mean, I think it's going to be interesting. I tore my bicep and had surgery on it, so I mean, I'm almost 100 pounds difference on what I can pull strapped and what I can pull without.
Shit!
I'm trying to get my grip back.
Yeah.
So
you think about maybe doing it then?
What's that?
Are you thinking about maybe doing it then?
No.
Is there?
He's real, man. You know what? I'm gonna tell you something about this guy. So he tears his bicep, okay, and he hasn't even got surgery yet. And I don't think he even seen a doctor yet. And he's in here with the safety squat, over here squatting like 500, 600 pounds
Jeez.
with his arm like swollen before he sees the doctor. I'm like, bro, you're nuts. That's the type of drive he has, man. He's hardcore and dry. He doesn't make any excuses, man. He kept his legs strong while he had a bicep tear before he even seen the doctor. He's just squatting like, I got it, no problem.
No excuses.
Boom, boom.
No excuses. When you had a bicep tear, that shit pop right off and roll up to the shoulder like that?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my god, dude, like that kind of stuff makes me queasy to think about. Especially if it's yourself and you look and you see it roll up. Good God, man, hats off to you for getting under the bar after that.
I still finished the lift that day, so.
Whoa, this was in a competition?
Yeah, it was at a fundraiser we were doing for the veterans, so I had to finish the lift. Felt wrong not to.
Wow.
This is my coach. That's why people are like, man, why are you always limping and walking? This is my guy. That's why I'm so strong.
The thing is, how you gonna tell your coach you're having a shitty day, you're not coming in when he does shit like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
And then you're like, oh, okay, well that's the standard then. That's the bar is set.
I do have one question. Back to that slingshot thing. Is there money involved on that? Like,
I don't know if they've even hosted their first official one. Like, he just announced it 2 weeks ago that there's going to be individual deadlift with straps only category and then slingshot categories. So he said it's completely separate divisions. Sign up and it'd be. So I don't know if there's going to be money involved or not, and then it's going to be where you're using the red one, the yellow, the black one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of the thing with gear, the gear division too, like the multi-ply, single-ply. People think you get different suits, bring something different to the game. So then some guys like, man, that guy's got a $400 shirt, I got a $200 shirt. That's kind of the way she goes, though, right? Like you, I mean, whatever.
I was just curious because of the talent pool, like what we're seeing with the U.S. Open right now. You know what I mean? If they start offering some money, all of a sudden you got a pretty big.
Well, then some people will think about it. U.S. Open's it's a monster right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, you guys know about the U.S. Open, like $40K on the table for a bench. TD, could you go in? Do they have a bench only division at the U.S. Open?
I'm not sure. We didn't check.
You'd get suspended though. You get suspended though. That's a problem, right?
Yeah, I mean,
for $40K.
If I had a chance to win $40K, you win the Arnold in the USAPL, you get $1,000.
Yeah.
You go to South Africa, you win, you pay it all out of pocket, you get a gold medal.
Yeah.
No money, or you could go win the U.S. Open and
make $40K. If I was you and I got invited, I'd make an announcement. Okay, I will soon be suspended by the IPF for 2 years. That'd be
well, it's gonna help me and my family.
It's whether or not they're gonna pull the trigger, because I mean, like my buddy John Haack's doing it. And,
I think so. We actually had John on here and we talked to him about it, and I think is he not preempted? Like he got suspended before for lifting a raw rum. And I think he's going to, I don't know if he's already suspended or he told them what his intentions are and he withdrew, or I forget. I have to watch that again, man. But I think, there's repercussions for sure. They won't let you just do it. Sure. Especially you're not flying under the table like TD, John. These guys are winning gold medals at the IPF World.
Well, I think
flying under the table.
If he turns in his IPF, I think there's something about that. If he turns off, he's not in that Fed. Like how do you get suspended?
But you can't come back.
Right, but he can't come back for like a year for Worlds or something.
That's right. That. You'll just miss Worlds and shit like that. But I mean, John's in contention for $40K. Do you know do they in the bench only in U.S. Open? Is there?
I don't think there is a bench only in U.S. Open.
Bench open?
I think it's only the 3 lifts because they.
As far as I know, it's just the big 3.
Because they trim the fat on that, like it's cut down 2 days.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So the dude, whoever's fronting the money, is like, all right, well, let's not have too many divisions, if you don't mind. But would that be something you'd be interested in if they had a bench only? Because man, even the only problem is some of these dudes who are on everything under the sun. They got some crazy benches, man.
That's fine. We'll work through it, man. You see how crazy my coach is trying to squat with that? I mean, I'm still gonna go. I'm still gonna work my tail off, man, and to make that my main focus. I'm not worried about them what they take. I'm not hating on them or throwing cloud name, but I mean, they do what they do, and I do what I do. So at the end of the day, we can see who's stronger, and I'm not worried about it.
That's it, man.
17 pounds under Correll's. I don't think he's got a lot to worry about.
Fucking nuts. That's nuts. No, they won't.
Even if he would come like a meet or whatever, just to be able to do a meet with him, I would still do it just because I got to compete with the best. Like I don't care if you're gonna beat me or whatever. To compete with some of those guys would be amazing.
He's the Michael Jordan of bench press, and Corell is like in terms of the untested. In terms of the tested, so who do you got to worry about in terms of the tested world and the IPF? Who are the dogs that are like right on your heels and your rivals?
Christian Wackernell from Austria. I love that guy. He's cool. He's funny. We always give each other. He's a big guy too, so when we see each other, we give each other big hugs. Man, that's my guy.
Bear hugs.
He's around my numbers. There's another gentleman who actually has a world record. I can't pronounce his name.
So he's Russian.
So probably
something like that. Yeah. Former Soviet bloc.
He has it's like 623, and that's his bench. So I mean, like I said, he has 623, but I'm gonna work to get beat it. No shot. Not trying to shoot any name on him, but he's a good lifter too. But I like that record. I'm gonna move my name on it. So that's what I want.
When you're in competition and you have people to go against, does it bring out the best or the worst in you? Like when you have people that are close to your numbers.
The best.
Yeah.
Because I get excited for them. Like not this Arnold, but the last Arnold when Working and I were head to head. Man, I'm like cheering for him. I knew he was gonna beat me, but it gets me pumped. Like I felt better. I was more hyped and I was more ready, you know, but you know, that's the beauty of the sport. Like, we're cool with each other. You know, it's not like, oh, I hate you, I'm going to stab you in the eye, or, you know, or something like that. You know, we're cool, but, you know, being able to compete with those guys, it's going to bring the best out of me, but also it makes the environment cool. So we all just kind of feed off each other. And that's the beauty about the sport.
What do you think was your best competition so far? So far yet, if you had to like hang your hat on one performance. Was one of that Worlds, like, no matter what happened after the IPF Worlds, was it that day?
It was that day. A lot of stuff happened to me, you know, the year prior, and I just, you know, had a big chip on my shoulder, and, you know, it was an emotional day, and I got it done. That was my first meet that I had all 3 lifts with all white lights, you know, nothing was wrong, and everything smooth, everything went according to plan. You know, I mean, everybody's like, you had way more in you, and yeah, but like what Dan says, it wasn't part of the plan. You know, it's never part of the plan. I'm not going to sit there and completely max out. You know, that's just not, everything needs to look smooth and fast when you lift. It's like Kirill's lifts. You see his lifts, he's not struggling at all.
Yeah.
Even when his 38, it's smooth. You know, I'm not going to sit here and try to, you know, do anything outlandish, you know, but I'm going to get my job done. Whatever numbers I have, I need to get those numbers done.
IPF gold medal, I mean, that's a world championships. What more can you ask for, right? You don't want to gamble. You don't want to risk it because, I mean, you only got 3 lifts. You only got 3 attempts, right?
Right.
You know, you miss your third and somebody makes a play and they land their third. That's when upsets happen, right? So the world championships that you'd be targeting then, would that be the one in Canada and Calgary?
No, the next Worlds that I'd compete in would be
3 lifts, sorry, I'm right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so it would be in Finland. It would be in Finland next year.
Okay. So a little bit more about the training. I know we got a little excited there, but so let's take a look at some of the rep ranges and volume you guys would use for the bench, because you bench twice a week. And not only that, but also partials. You guys, I know you have bench blocks and stuff in some of your videos, so how often do you incorporate partials? Just a little bit of a look in terms of the programming.
Yeah, so basically with TD, it's about every 6 weeks we kind of do a reset, and then so we'll go back down and we'll do our reps in somewhere between the 70 and 75% range for the first week, and then basically each week we go up about 5% with him, and he gets strong so fast that it's worked well for us. The accessory work is what'll change on our rep range a lot. So we'll, like, if we're going a heavier day, you know, working up to doubles with 85%, then we'll actually go higher reps with the accessory work, and then vice versa. So if we're at the 70 to 75% range on our main work, then we're going to go lower and heavier on our accessory work. Mm-hmm. And then on our speed work, we'll use everything from, he's responded really well to bands. We've done chains. We've been doing a little bit more with the chains, but for his lockout, because he's so fast off of his chest, the nastiness of being able to use the bands has really helped his lockout. Mm-hmm. So we've gotten a big benefit from the band work with him.
And in terms of,
but we also do, we do things that a lot of people might shy away from, like we do standing overhead press with him. We use incline press. We don't do much with the decline, but we still. My goal, especially at his age, is to try to make him, bulletproof. Keep him in the game as long as we can. You see a lot of guys where they start doing some of the ugly stuff, or some of the kind of the dangerous, the bouncing just to say they moved it. Mm-hmm. And you don't see it as much with guys that are at TD's level, just because they're at that level, and so they've usually got good people surrounding them. So we do overhead press, we do incline press, we do close grip work. We'll do close grip work every training session, both on heavy days and on speed days. Close grip's been a huge part of us. We don't go crazy close. We basically, I just tell everybody, it's wherever you put your hands to do a push-up. That's as far in as we go with the bar with him. But close grip every training session.
What about dumbbell work? Do you do any of that?
Yep, absolutely. Yep, we'll alternate on the barbell and dumbbells on the incline. Get a big stretch with him. A lot of times when we do the incline is when we will do some partial reps. If it's been heavy that day, then when we move over to the incline, we'll use a 2-board. And then the following week, we'll use dumbbells and go all the way down and get a big stretch for him.
And any kind of work, like in terms of back work, and what kind of stuff would you use that besides just deadlifts, like lat pull down, seal rows, dumbbell rows?
Yep, all of that, the U-list. We also will do a lot of V-handle work to try to really build that mid-back. We'll do single arm work. We'll do, took me forever to find one, but basically what guys would consider like the Yates, the pullover.
Oh, yeah.
Took me a long time to find them, but we'll use that a lot. And then like snatch grip rows with him, just going the wide double overhand, try to build his back even bigger.
How about those biceps? You do any biceps, TD?
We do. We got to build the brakes.
Let's see it, man. Whoa, damn.
A little bit, man. Yeah,
That's no fucking joke. Whoa, man.
I eat my Wheaties, bro.
Little bit. Yeah, good for you.
My Lenny and Larry's, actually, I should say.
That's right. Shout out to Lenny and Larry's. If you're not sponsored yet, still
He
watching.
came in almost teared up when he measured his arms, and it was as big as his hero growing up. You know, he had Arnold or Hulk Hogan used to run his mouth about his, what would he say, 24-inch python or whatever.
Yeah.
And then TD hit the 24-inch mark. So.
No shit, TD. 24 inches is huge. What's CT Fletcher?
I think he's got 22s or 23s.
I think he's right.
Oh shit, you got bigger arms than CT?
You know, I'm a big guy, man. You know, I'm blessed.
No shit, you are a big man. Because CT's got arms like holy smokes.
What?
So we do a lot of bicep work, actually trying to build those. You know, I just tell everybody we're just building the brakes for the bench press.
Yeah.
What's an average day of food look like for you?
Oh, I actually just started my meal prep before he came over.
Meal prep? No shit.
Yeah, because like I said, I work at the jail, man. I can't be sluggish and out of shape. So there's times I have to run. I might have to save somebody's life, you know, or whatever it may be. So it's like, you know, you never know. So I don't want to be out of shape. I'm not going to be the one wheezing.
Yeah.
You know, I want to get up, you know, get around. But like when I wake up and then when I wake up at 5 a.m, I won't eat until I get to the jail, which would be about 7. You know, kind of just let it go because I'm walking, I'm doing things. I'll start eating my boiled eggs. I eat about 9 boiled eggs a day. I eat a lot of vegetables and rice, man. Just watching it, like I lose body fat, but because of how heavy like we go and how much stronger, like my legs have grown a lot more, and like I'm starting to get a butt, which is weird because nobody in my family has a butt, so I'm like one of the first to have a butt. It's growing. It's cool. Thank you, man. I'm excited. You know, I'm very excited, and you know, everything is starting to like grow. Like I'm getting stronger. Like arms are getting bigger, my chest is getting bigger. Like I can still do sit-ups and stuff like that because he makes me do core all the time. Obviously, your core is good. But I mean, I eat every about 2 or 3 hours, depending on how busy my day is at work. But if I can get every 2 hours, it's good. You know, and I walk around, do walkthroughs and stuff like that. So,
if you had to guess, do you know how many calories you might toss down in a day?
How many calories?
You're probably somewhere around. He's probably somewhere around 4,500.
No shit.
Oh, that's not that bad.
That's a lot less than I thought you were gonna say.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say around 10,000.
No, I mean my goal with TD. I mean you look at statistically, he's big, he's black. I mean honestly, you look at statistics.
Big, black, strong.
It's not a long life plan. I mean,
TT, like what the fuck, man?
No, and so that's what we're trying to change. I mean, you look at you go back and look at his family history and stuff like that. It's like, man, we need you to be around forever. I don't need I don't want just a legend in the books, man. I want him to be around. There's so many young guys who look up to where we train and look up to him. Like, I want him to be healthy. He's going to keep dropping the weight a little by little. I mean, I'm not, he's not going to be a 308 competitor ever, but. If we got him, if he's walking 385, 390, just knowing that, I mean, because I look at him as my family. So I want him to be healthy, and I want them to be around a long time. And you know, getting them strong is one thing, but you know, getting them to be around longer is better.
It's a whole nother thing. Yeah. Do you think when you've hit certain goals and you're done with the powerlifting, you might like cut it back and like, all right, man, I'm gonna drop like 100 pounds.
Yes.
Is that the deal? Yeah.
That's exactly what I want to do. That's exactly what I want to do. Like,
Yeah, he said that a lot.
I want to be around for my kids, my grandkids, and you know, I don't want to be sluggish. You know, I can compete at a smaller weight when I'm older. Yeah. Obviously, I'm not be doing it. I'm not gonna quit. You know.
Yeah.
Arms, but I'm gonna grow some bionic arms, and I'm still gonna bench. You know. So, I'm gonna continue to compete, but you know, at the same time, I want to be around. You know, for my kids and grandkids, and you know things like that. You know, when I started to build a family. Yeah, when that time comes.
Yeah, because you wonder that. Yeah, well, you young man, watch those kids. But you wonder that because like me and Randy have talked about like some dudes like when you're 400 pounds. There's not very many dudes who are 85 years old and they're 400 pounds, right? So you see these heavyweights and you think, do they have that plan where it's like, all right, when I hit certain goals by a certain age, that I'm good because. Let's be honest, man. If everyone like the heavyweights kind of bring that allure because you're the strongest. There's no one above the heavyweight. Like you're the 3 lift, the bench press. That's it. You're the top of the food chain, right? So everybody would kind of fantasize about being the heavyweight champ. But there's the flip side where it's like, man, after I hit certain goals, Well,
there's a lot of things that go along with that. I mean, like just your basic life. I mean, getting on a plane to sit down, that's got to be a bitch. Like,
no shit. Yeah.
Like, seriously, like those little things at 400.
Plane going to Africa. And obviously he's a bigger guy, but he's like leaner. But like they see me, and it's like they're looking at both of us like, oh my god, I hope he's not sitting next to me. You hear everybody just going, oh, like thank God. Like they were so nervous. I mean, it's, I'm a big guy, but at the same time, I'm not meant to be small. I was never meant to be small. So.
You're the guy I sit beside on every plane ride. I swear to God. Like,
we travel a lot together. I think. Have you been to a place like Japan and they seen you? Like, how do certain people react when they see a big dude like you? Because in Japan or China, they would fucking go nuts, man. I'm 5'9", they think I'm King Kong. You know what I'm saying? I never want to leave a place like Japan or China. So they must be all over you, man. Just totally infatuated and interested, right?
Yeah. We were when we were in South Africa walking through the mall, they'd come up, ask us who we were, why we were there. They thought everything from like professional wrestlers to who was I, because TD must be my bodyguard.
They're like, you must be rich and important. This dude is a huge bodyguard.
Thought it was royalty. They thought we were actors for a movie. We went and saw a movie, and these girls stood outside the movie until we were done so they could get a picture taken with us. They had no idea who we were. They just wanted to get their picture taken with us.
That's amazing, man.
It was pretty funny. Everywhere we went, they were like,
"Whoa,
you're not from here, so who are you?
Yeah, what's your deal? What's your deal? Did you get that same kind of treatment around like where you're from? The thing is, everybody probably knows you. Is that the case?
Yeah, I mean everybody's cool. I have the people like that haven't met me and like like, oh my, you're that guy that benches a bunch. I'm like yeah. I'm not like a cocky person, so it's. Like, no, have pride. I'm like, I mean, I know what I did, but I'm not like, yeah, I bench 600 pounds. I'm the man. Go buy my sandwich. I'm cool. If they have any questions, I'll answer. Just being cool. That's all I am.
Dude, if you ever do go to like Japan or China, you gotta get a fucking video and just follow you around. That's a reality TV show, man. Seriously, this story would be amazing. From the plane ride to fucking everywhere, man.
I'd love to go, actually. Team Japan, when we were in Worlds, they were like the most hype out of anybody. Especially when they would see us, they were like, and they would go crazy, and we would go crazy. Like, it'd be a big party.
That's it.
Same people would get their pictures taken with us every day. From
Yeah.
Every time we saw them, they'd get their picture taken with us.
Yeah.
Every day. Yeah. So we saw them every day for a week, and every day for a week. Every time
the same dudes.
Yeah, same dudes and girls.
It's Tuesday's picture. Like, all right, man, relax, man. It's the same, man. It's the same as yesterday. No shit. Good for them.
What would you say the best and worst thing about being that big is?
All right, the best thing is that people don't like. try me as much as they probably would somebody else.
Yeah, no shit. I'd be buying you beers at the bar if I seen you. I'd make friends quick.
I do get a lot of free shots, but then again, I don't drink the whole 10 weeks I'm in training, so it's like I'm having to turn down shots because I'm drinking water. Like, one shot, like, no, I got a meet in a few weeks. I'm just over sipping on some water. But I mean, that's cool. Everybody's a little cooler, and the people that know me, they know I'm not like a asshole or anything like that. Excuse my language, I'm nice, I don't do that. But the worst thing is planes. Because the seats are bad, and I don't have that much money, so I can't get first class. So it's like, you sit in the plane, you're just like this, another person's like this on the window.
You get up and walk, and this guy's stuck between your fucking lats, and you carry him out like a backpack. You're like, what the fuck is in my back right now, man? That was passenger 15A that's in your back right now, man. That poor son of a bitch. But no shit. You should get that's where some sponsors should step up with buying you a second seat. You know what I mean, or something. Do sponsors approach you because you are smashing these numbers and you're a character? Look, I'm gonna tell you right now. You come off like a good guy. I could watch a video on you, YouTube video. I would love to follow you around, watching your interactions and shit. Do sponsors approach you?
Yeah, I get approached, but I just don't want to take anything, any weird sponsor right now. I want to wait till I get something bigger. I'm with Titan right now, and I'm happy with Titan. They make sure I got all my equipment.
It's a good sponsor.
I'm cool. I get these little bitty offers. It's just like, I don't know if I should be with these people, and what motive. I get offers all the time, and he's helping me with kind of differentiating. Who do I need to be with? Who should I just kind of leave to the side? But
Because if I know you mean where if you sign something now, then you go ahead and you become an IPF world champion and get that gold, and you're like, fuck me, I signed something with these dudes, and the offer wasn't amazing yet. Is supplement companies stepping up at least to give you some free shit? Because you see a lot of people, if it's at the Arnolds and they're with the supplement company, have them work in the booth. I gotta think, honestly, if I'm walking through an Arnold and I'm walking through supplement company booths, I see you. I'm like, I want a picture with you. You're larger in life, like a comic book character. You have a bench set up and you moving some weight. It seems like a natural, right?
Right. No, we have a supplement company here in South Bend, One-on-One Fitness, and they give me what I need right now, and that's what I go through. But they're working on a bigger deal for me right now too. So I would love to be in one of those booths, but I don't know if I can do it all day. Because that's hard, I gotta eat, that's we have a microwave set up right there.
Yeah, man. That's when the cold meal preps come in. Right?
Boiled eggs, I probably eat about 2 dozen that day.
Oh, shit.
Be a stinky, very stinky.
They'd be like, TD, the attendance in your booth went down by the afternoon, man.
Just cleared out.
That's right.
Everybody's just passing out when they get there. It's everybody just drops.
Yeah. No shit. So in terms of I wanted to ask you, when you're talking about squats, what would the squat and deadlift volume look like for a bench only guy?
It is a little higher. We until he decides that he wants to do all three, then we're gonna keep it a little higher. More just he's actually he's flexible. He's explosive. We've got a board at the Haven that's 10 foot 4 inches. He can still standing, jump up, slap the board.
Oh shit, man!
I got hops, son.
Whoa!
I bet you everybody in the gym feels that when you land. Holy shit!
What the fuck happened next door?
Earthquake!
What's happening? Shit, that's crazy, man. You gotta run mobility like that. That's where the football, man. You see all these crazy freak athlete football players, and you're one of them.
Yep.
Well, they train for explosiveness. Football, they train a lot for that.
Yeah. It's fucking nuts. You got video of that?
No, we'll get it.
Hell yeah, dude. We would repost that in a minute.
Yeah.
That shit goes viral. Swear to God, man. You show a world bench press champion, 420 pounds with a vertical like that, people go nuts for that shit.
So with squats, we'll go. He'll do usually somewhere like 4 sets of 6, making sure that he's burying them, not trying to max out with deadlift, depending on whether or not we're going snatch grip or regular, but usually somewhere in that 6 to 8 rep range. I'm not going to max him out because it's a risk versus reward. When it comes to those lifts, it's more just keeping his hips strong. He's still got to have that big leg drive. That's improved a ton on him, which has helped his bench. And then, building his back, you don't have to have heavy singles or doubles on either one of those lifts to build the strength and size. The way his body responds, if we were doing all kinds of just heavy singles and doubles, it would just end up bad for him, I think, in the long run. So just trying to keep him healthy, let him keep competing as long as we can.
Would you consider doing the 3 lifts? Like, is there any goals of ever doing a 3 lift?
Oh yeah, I want to do it eventually. That's like kind of on my bucket list, if you want to say.
Yeah.
I'd like to do all 3, but I mean, I'm not.
Like right now, if he just stepped in and did a meet, he would total probably just over 2,000 just doing it.
Yeah. Just for and that's not peaking or doing any kind of like approaching it with, seriously approaching bench too. Like your whole program would probably change up.
Oh yeah, yep, for sure.
Yeah. What do you think in terms of bucket list? Are we talking like years down the road?
Maybe not like years, but I mean around soon. Maybe next couple of years I'll do at least 1 meet just to say I did it. But right now it's about the bench. That's what I want. It's actually people are like, oh, why don't you compete in squat? It's not what I want to do.
Yeah. Well,
I want to bench 700 plus.
Yeah, and time is of the essence. I mean, when you go into training camp, obviously, like you take a look at that programming right there. If you're not doing that programming, then your bench has got to go down a little bit because you're not focusing on just the bench. If you were the biggest bencher in the IPF, why would you just give that shit up? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's a big. It's easy. It's easy for someone to be like, why don't you do 3 lift? Because they're not the greatest bencher the IPF has.
It just,
you know what I mean?
It depends on how long he takes the record, holds it for a while though. Then that goal's set.
You smash a few goals, win that goal, and then break a world record and create a big of a legacy. You're 24. You could conceivably build a legacy. So when people think about the bench, they think about TD, right?
I've never seen a powerlifter who isn't hungry. If he starts taking the bench records, I mean, everyone gets hungry after a while. It's new goals.
Why would you give up being the top dog to being top 10?
Yeah.
Why? You know what I mean? Especially you could end up being world records means you were literally the greatest of all time. What were you doing? So man, it's one of those things where it's like shit. Maybe here and there I'll do a couple 3 lifts, but it'd be a hard transition.
And honestly, I mean, bench press, whether we like it or not, still draws the most attention. Like that's what we were joking about. My video when I pulled 815 belt list got 300 views. I benched.
Dude, that's crazy. Pull, no shit.
I benched 555 when we were in Wisconsin, and the end of the day there were 1,000 views, and I'm like, dude, nobody cares about squat, deadlift. It's still all about bench, whether we like it or not. He's going to get the most attention being a monster bench presser.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it is what he loves, so it's not like I'm trying to talk him out of out of the 3 lifts, but it does draw the most attention. Everybody sees him, and they're like, what do you bench?
Yeah. But it's the most transferable. I mean, if you go to even gym bros who aren't even into powerlifting, they all bench press though. So it's something that they can easily process. So when they hear your numbers, that's insane. But if you tell them about a deadlift, they know it's big, but if they're not deadlifting themselves, it's harder for them to kind of process. I mean, it's getting bigger because powerlifting is getting bigger as a whole as well. So people are kind of more educated to it, but still the bench press always is the most transferable.
It's growing, but in the U.S., I see the feds popping up like crazy down there. There's
a lot of federations in the U.S.
a lot of federations down there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's crazy with the amount of feds. So.
How do you feel about all those feds?
I mean, it's
TD shaking his head.
it's. I think it's a way that's getting more people into powerlifting, and so
that's true.
So that's fine. I can't really hate on that. I guess what I get tired of is seeing a 275er who benches 400 pounds, and then he posts, so proud, never thought I'd be able to say I'm a world champion. It's like, well, like, just slow down a little bit. And every Fed has, you know, their national champion, their state champion, their world, and it is fun. Like, it's cool to hear you got a record, but I guess that's what we see a lot of, is a lot of mid-level lifters that are world and national champions.
Quarter squats that are getting passed for depth.
Well, here's the thing. Like, in general, you need, like, in terms of what the sport could use, you could have tested, untested,
Right.
raw and geared, and then beyond that, you don't need too much more. Maybe if you want multiply or get kind of, I want raw with wraps, here and there. But in general, the big ones is you don't need more than like those divisions right there. Tested, untested, gear. Like IPF kind of covers to a large extent. If you want to go untested though, and that's cool because like I'm a huge fan of dudes like Dan Green, Larry Wheels, and those fucking guys. Like when they hit those weights and start banging it out. Yeah, I mean hell yeah. Like so. Yeah, I mean I think it's good that they have a sandbox as well. If you take away that sandbox, they're still going to do the thing. They're just going to try to beat the test, right? And then where it ends up in the situation. Because we even had LeRoy the Machine. You guys know LeRoy the Metric? And he said,
I know LeRoy.
Yeah. And
How you doing, LeRoy?
yeah, that's right. And he had said he had done an USAPL meet, and he straight up said I was on the shit, and I won, and I didn't get tested.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, that's crazy admission right there. But he says flat out.
Yep.
I mean, that's him, but, you know, I got my opinions about certain people, but, you know, that's, you know, he does, he's a good lifter. That's all I'm saying.
He's in the right Fed now. I think he was saying he was young, and, like, he wouldn't do that shit now. Now he's got a home in the untested, and that's the way it should be if you're going to be on it. But,
Right.
Is there anybody you look up to? Like, is there anybody that you follow, watch, get excited about?
Honestly, man, I can see good things in a lot of the top people. You know, like obviously we watched a lot of Kirill. We watched some of the LeRoy stuff. We like to go off of Josh Bryant because all his philosophies and stuff like that. You know, he's just a monster himself. And I mean, basically anybody that's doing anything, you know, I'm gonna watch them and see, you know, good points that I think, you know, would be good for me. You know, I get inspired by it all, so I take it all in.
Lily Bridges, we're gonna hit them up and go train with them.
The Little Bridges.
oh shit, they're a monster family, eh?
It's funny too because when I asked that, it was everybody in his weight class.
Oh, no shit, too, yeah. It's all the dudes in your weight class. Or, well, I guess Lily Bridge not necessarily.
Because we asked a lot of people, and we noticed that most people don't really watch people like that much smaller, that much bigger. Everyone's real close to their weight class.
Do you draw inspiration from people smaller than you? Or is it harder? Or like, to an extent?
Jen Thompson.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I'll say her name. First of all, Jen Thompson, she is a boss. First of all, she's a wonderful person.
Yeah.
Secondly, her form is flawless. Third, she's bad. Like, you just, like, I mean, come on, like, she's that little and can do that much. Like, come on, and how she presents herself as a person, I watch her in all aspects.
Yeah.
There's people that I can watch, you know, a couple aspects, you know, how they lift and, you know, what they're doing. But then, you know, then they have this weird, like, side, like, how they deal with people and how they are on the platform. They're, you know, too cocky or whatnot. I mean, that's how you want to be.
Yeah.
But, like, Jen Thompson, I can look at her all three aspects. Yeah. It's like, she's just the bomb. She is a icon. Like, I mean, come on, like, I'm 425 pounds and she does what she does. I'm still impressed by what she does.
Well, she's a great ambassador for the sport. Like,
and she was on the episode. I don't know if you've seen the episode when she was on with us. Like, extremely well spoken. She's a teacher, right? So that's what she does, is like public speaking on a daily basis. So she's very well spoken, and she's been in the game. Like, she's no flash in the pan since the '90s. She's been competing. So her like story, she's a hell of a storyteller. If you see that episode, man, but the story she has, the experience, and like to be at that level, like decade after decade. She's 43 years old and just killing it, still hitting PRs. You know, so yeah, in that case, it's easy to get inspired. But is it hard, like sometimes where a smaller dude comes up, hits a crazy PR, and you're like, all right, man, I guess that sounds good. But it's hard. It kind of loses its perspective because it's hard to tell, right?
Well, it's like when I see like Larry Wheels, like him hitting like 600 pounds, I'm like, dude, like, come on, bro. Like, like I just see him smoke. I mean, he does, but I mean, he's still a great lifter, man. Like, he's doing big things.
Crazy
man.
numbers, man. Larry Wheels is a beast, man.
Yeah.
Jacked up to shit. He looks like he's a fucking bodybuilder.
Yep.
Yeah, he does.
yeah, for sure. He can do a show.
Are you watching anybody in the U.S. Open? Anybody you're looking for on that one?
Haack. I'm looking at my boy Haack.
Yeah. Same. I hope he does well. I mean, he's going in there. He's got some stiff competition. Crazy stiff competition. He's going to keep it. He's keeping it natty too. I mean, he's not going to dip his toe in that pool, so he's going to try to do his best doing what he does, and I respect that. Hats off to him. And but fuck, man, it's nothing but sharks in that pool.
Yeah.
Like seriously, it is crazy the dudes they got. Yeah. And you have to.
John's a game day competitor.
Just 1 second there.
I think the video went up for us. There we are. You're back. Okay, yeah. So sorry, you were saying?
He's a game day competitor though, man. Like he can step up like when he needs to. He can rise to the occasion. He's bad, and he's just hilarious. I love every opportunity I've ever had to train with him.
Well, the big thing about this one over the IPF, he's going to be coming in a lot heavier, and he's got 1 day out on his water cut. So
yeah, that's nice.
That is going to be a huge difference for seeing what that guy can do.
That wraps is different for him.
Yeah.
Hopefully that works out. Like he is what you said in terms of game day. I never seen a type of height like last year's Worlds, the IPF in Texas with him versus Gibbs was crazy height. It was like Ali Frazier for our sport. And he came through. I think did he go 9? I think he might have went 9 for 9. Yeah. I don't think he missed a single lift. And as tight a race as that is, you can't miss a lift. You miss one lift, like Gibbs missed a lift in the squat, fell back so far behind.
I think Gibbs went like 5 for 9 or 6 for 9.
Because after that you have to overreach, otherwise you're accepting defeat. If you miss a squat, you're so far behind. At least in terms of bench only, you don't necessarily got to worry about like fuck, if I miss something in the first event, I'm really bad shape later on by the last event.
Well, I think the craziest thing about that watching going into that was their training, seeing it was. I mean, they were matching bang on every day, seeing the same post, same bench, same spot. Like that was a competition. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys. So is Haack close to you guys?
No, he's in Wisconsin. He trains out of my buddy. Dan Paschalk owns Madtown Fitness, and that's where I first met John. And just got to know him a little bit. And then we've trained together. He's come down to Strength Haven, and we've trained. And so yeah, just kind of that network. So for us to go up to Madtown, it takes about 5 hours.
Oh shit!
But it's worth it.
Yeah. So if you guys, for both of you, question for both of you: if you look back when all this is said and done, how would you like to be remembered in the game?
The greatest bencher of all time.
Whoa! There it is, man. There it is.
I don't want to sound like cocky, but that's my goal, man. Like, if I
it's
I want
within
to
your
inspire,
means.
Man.
It's within your means. That's the thing. It's not even cocky if you've already won the IPF World Gold Medal, broke world records. Like you're 24 years old.
He's only 17 pounds off the world record of any Fed.
No. The other Fed is in 700. Kirill's got in the 700 for the untested. You talking?
738.
That's right.
And how about yourself, Dan?
For me, it's just being able to touch as many athletes' lives as I can. I like being able to compete with the elite, being able to, my goal for this next meet that I step into, pretty big goals, but, and I love being able to coach. And, if I could go down as just one of the well-known coaches who did a lot of good. We train a lot of, not just powerlifting. We have a ton, like at the gym, we've got junior high and high school kids that are surrounded by guys like me and TD. And so, that's the joy that I get when I see an athlete go and do well in sports. And so for me, it's, be able to compete with the best in the world, but then just be remembered as someone who did some good.
And gave back. Is there, we appreciate having you guys on here. Is there anybody you guys would like to shout out, thanks, any sponsors before we let you go?
You first.
Man, for me, it's all the athletes, everybody that believes in me and what I do at Strength Haven. So everyone that comes and supports us, all of our friends out there across the country that have bought the Strength Haven shirts, who have always wished all of me and my athletes well. Right now, in terms of sponsors, man, we've always got our boy John at One-on-One Fitness, who takes care of us, but
Protein.
my family, that's really it. And then the Strength Haven crew.
And for Strength Haven and possible online programming or anything like that, where do people go?
Normally people just hit me up either on Facebook. I've got my personal page, which is Dan Gibson, but I'm trying to focus more on the Strength Haven gym page. And then on Instagram, it's just Strength Haven.
Okay. Sounds good. TD, how about you, man?
Big shout out to this guy right here.
Whoa,
Always
there you
have back, and he's been wonderful to me. My mom, my family, my girlfriend, Vanessa, John on Titan, my guy TJ, he does my massages. I've seen him in about like 2 hours after I get up squatting. He was gonna make me scream because it hurts.
What's he do that with? A baseball bat?
That's right.
Like, yeah, how's he get deep enough?
He's been wanting to work on his bench, and I had this old like Russian like high volume program that I had him do, and like let's just say he got stronger, and I can feel him being stronger. When he's like taking his pecs, like bro, I'm not ever gonna give you any workouts ever again.
That's it.
I mean, all my sponsors, man, I think everybody, man, I'm doing well, and I just want to continue to inspire others and get these weights up.
That's it. Well, listen, guys, we greatly appreciate you taking time of your day and hopping on this episode. Love to have you back, and good luck on your next competitions.
Thank you.
See you later.
Deuces.
Man, I like that kid. He's a character, no?
Yeah, he's funny.
I love big dudes infatuate everybody. Like it's interesting. Like
He's a kid.
420 pounds, 24 years old. But he seems like, but he's mature though. Like he's not like he's
humble. Like,
he's humble because he's been big his whole life. You make me 420 pounds for a week, and I'm 37. I'll probably be flipping over cars, picking fights with anybody who looked at me sideways, walking away with your girl.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'd be a bad dude. I walk into banks, be like, I'll have
walking
it all.
into the cafeteria, just taking people's lunch.
That's right. I like to make a withdrawal. How much? $1 million. Let's go. Cops come shooting me. The bells are batting off. This dude, like because he's been big his whole life, but he's a character too, man. He's not dry.
Yeah, he was
I wish I really would. If they got a YouTube following this dude around on his travels, it'd be interesting just to see people like every day, every week.
That's why I
taking
asked him,
pictures
because
with
I think a lot of people, they see that and they see these, you see gym guys all the time. I want to get bigger, but a lot of guys don't understand what that takes to be.
It's life change.
My kid brother, he's a big boy. Like he's over 300 pounds, 6'6", and I know some of the things he went through, and it's a struggle. Like just getting in a car with a couple people. Like you're now, where it was a back seat, now it's just you. Like he's a big guy. So, but a guy like him. But the thing that shocked me was his caloric intake.
Yeah, you know what? 4,500 is not much. There was at one point at like $190, like in the summer times when I'm very active, I'm around 4,000 myself.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? Which is crazy. And this dude could eat meat if he wanted to.
Yeah.
That's not much. I thought like 10,000.
That's what usually these big guys all say around 10,000, but that's why. Yeah. That's why we ask the questions, though, right? We find out some interesting things.
Some interesting shit.
He's
got big ass arms, man. 24 inches.
But the thing is that you see these strongmen all this stuff, and
can dunk a basketball. Go on.
The 10,000 calorie thing. I know they do it for the energy, but I don't know how much of them really follow any kind of like what they're putting in. They just jam 10,000 calories in. So if you did the right 5,000. Who knows?
Well, 100%. And some of these dudes, 10,000 calories.
Like he was saying, vegetables, eggs. Like he's eating a lot of clean stuff.
Yeah, so you know how many vegetables you have to eat? Yeah, exactly. Like it's a lot of volume. Whereas and some of these dudes who are doing 10,000 calories might also be the pro strongmen who are not natty. And they're going to chew up that 4,000 a lot more different than if he's natty. Like he is natty. Yeah. He's, you can use it. It uses differently, right? So there's other factors. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Man, I would love to be 420 pounds just for a week. How tall is he? I wish I would ask him that.
Yeah, I meant to ask him that too.
Because is Ray Williams 420? Is he at the same size as Ray Williams?
Ray's got to be getting close to that, because I'm pretty sure Ray competed at was it Worlds or one of them? I seen him post one time. He was right at 400. Oh yeah. And that was. So
he's bigger than Ray Williams. And Ray can move.
Or he's roughly the same size.
Ray can move. Have you seen him on the agility ladder for the Ray's old football days? He can move too. Like these guys are like athletic, not just big.
But these big guys, I mean, you watch college football, like, I mean, high school football in the U.S., like any of that stuff, it's the training. I mean, some of these guys are trained since they're 4 years old. But the agility, even those big guys, they make them work for it, and they make them move because you got to move quick as a big guy.
And he didn't just eat himself into this category. He's been big his whole life, like you said. Same with Ray Williams. He's probably been big his whole life. So you carry it differently than if you just grew into it. It's going to be a little harder to carry.
Big and athletic is different than just big.
You
know what I mean? Like,
and big and strong.
If you just got big because you sat on a couch and ate pizzas all day over...
Or not just that, but there are dudes who got big and strong, and they're power lifters. They work. They don't just sit on the couch. But they're not big, strong, and athletic and agile. We know this. We know this. We know dudes like that, and it's just different because it's just different.
But his natural frame size and everything else, he carries the weight. Like, he's a big dude. His coach is nice too. I was happy we got him on there. We didn't even know he was going to be on there, but that was good. He had a lot to say. And
no shit, that was a good one. Looking forward to the next.
Yep.
Deuces.